So what's going on, my fellow Spartans? How are you guys doing today? This is Spartacus bringing a rain, coming at you with a toy review on the Marvel Legends Rocket Raccoon and Groot figures. And of course, this is my most anticipated figure of the wave due to the fact that we do get articulation on a small figure, and plus Rocket Raccoon is my favorite character from the Guardians of the Galaxy. So let's get to the packaging. Of course, we have the figure in a window box display with its accessories on the right hand side. In the left hand side, you get the baby Groot and the head sculpt of Rocket Raccoon and the back piece for the Mantis. And in the bottom of the box, you get the Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy logo. And on top of the box, you get the Legend series logo as well. And on top of the box, you get the Guardians logo as well. And on the side of the box, you get an image of Rocket Raccoon. And of course, in the back of the box, you get an image of Rocket Raccoon and the baby Groot with all the figures of the wave in the bottom. And on the side of the box, you get an image of Groot. So let's crack this bad boy up and let's look at the action figure. And now that we have him outside his packaging, my first initial thoughts about the figure is that Hasbro did an amazing job with this figure. Especially the new added articulation on him and the look of the figure. Especially the other Rocket from Marvel Legends was just horrible. It was a sadly made Rocket Raccoon, and I never picked up that figure, so I won't be comparing them to that. As much as I love this figure, there are some problems with them, but we will touch on that in a little bit. We're going to take a look at his accessories first, and we'll take a look at Rocket. And for the accessories for Rocket, he does come with an extra head sculpt, 2 guns, and the baby Groot with the Ravager outfit. Of course, he does come with the back piece with the torso of Mantis, but it is going to be in its own review, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's look at the accessories first. I'm really digging the guns on Rocket, especially they did a wash on the guns, like dirtied and everything rusted. So I'm digging that they did that. I don't see Hasbro doing that a lot with their guns, and they deliver really nice with Rocket. So I'm really digging that, the fact that they did that, especially on the other one too. Like, the other one looks nice. This gun reminds me of is Han Solo's gun. Like, it reminds me so much of it. I just wish that Rocket had a bigger gun than this, but I think they added a nice detail. The thing with Hasbro, they don't add a lot of wash to their guns. And how to place the guns into Rocket Raccoon, you just wedge them down to his hand. And I like the fact that they have a trigger finger. So, and they don't, for him having small hands, they don't fall down at all. If you shake them around and all that stuff, his weapons do not fall. Even if I place the other one, his Han Solo gun. See? So I'm digging the fact that they hold really nicely, but I just wish he had bigger guns than that. But other than that, they look really nice with him. And this is Rocket extra head sculpt. I think Hasbro did an amazing job with it, especially the paint on him and the eyes and the sculpting on him as well. It's just the only thing I really don't like about the head sculpt is that his mouth is not articulated, his jaw. And I wish it did had that, because in the comic Rocket Raccoon, the Build-A-Figure, he did had articulated jaw, but I just wish that this one had that. But other than that, they did an amazing job on him. But that really doesn't really push me away from not getting the figure. But that's just a little detail that you guys got to be worried about if you guys are thinking that the jaw is articulated. And how to put the extra head sculpt, you just take out this head sculpt. Of course, this is in a ball joint. So you just press down just to place them. And good fit. And now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's look at the action figure. Of course, Hasbro did a good job on him. Like I said before, his paint deco is nicely clean. There is no complaints about that. I like the fact that his teeth are nicely sculpted, nicely clean. His mouth looks really, really good. I'm really digging it. And his face is nicely done as well. I have no complaints about that. Like, I'm really digging that Hasbro's giving us good figures. There is like a plastic mold on him that I don't like, but that's behind the figure, so I really can't give it that much of a complaint about that. So anything that's wrong with the figure, like a paint defect or plastic or anything like that, I really don't give it points if it's behind the figure, because it's just behind the figure. You're not seeing the behind of the figure, you're just seeing the front of it. So I'm liking everything about the figure. He does have articulated tail, so that's nicely done too. I just wish that the decal on the tail was more painted, like his stripes of his tail, because you can hardly tell from it. I'm not sure if you can see it in camera, but you can hardly tell. You gotta like look at it really closely. But I like the fact, look at all the detail on him, on his jacket, on his waist, on his feet. Like, I'm really digging him. There is one thing that I don't like about the figure, is sometimes when I bend his knee, is that his ankle gets out really easily. And now it doesn't do it, but I know before when I took him out, he did it right away. I just don't understand why that Hasbro did that, his feet to get out of the figure, but that's really the only really big complaint. I'm really digging the fact that Hasbro gave us a good Rocket Raccoon, and you could tell that Hasbro's been giving us good figures. And I'm really liking the fact that they're stepping up their game on some of the figures, because especially we're consumers that we want the best things in our collection, and they are actually thinking about that. Nicely done, Hasbro. And now to get into articulation of the figure, his head is in a ball joint, but he does not move up at all. If you do move it up, it does remove the head sculpt from him. He doesn't look down at all as well, so that's disappointing of it. He does swivel all around, left, right, so any way you want. Does have an ab crunch, but he only crunches back a little bit, not too much. Does crunches forward just a little bit. He does have a single jointed elbow, so you can't really ask for a double jointed elbow on a small figure, so I can't complain about that, especially how they're gonna do that, but in his small joints, so I really can't complain about that. Anyways, he does have a swivel on his wrist. His arms do move out quite a bit, so not bad. He does have a swivel in by his ab crunch, so that's not bad. He does do the splits about that much, so that's good for a small figure. Of course, he does have articulated tail, so you can move it any way you want it. So you can bend it any way you prefer to have it. He does kick out about that much, so not bad. He does have a single jointed knee. Like I said, you can't really ask for a double jointed elbow or knee or any type of thing like that, because there are small joints, so you can't really ask for something like that. He does have a swivel on his ankles and no ankle pivot. And just for size comparison, we have the TRU Groot next to Rocket. I'm really digging how these figures look together, especially that Groot should be bigger than Rocket, so I'm geeking out like crazy right now. And just for size comparison, for your average size Marvel Legend is the Walgreens exclusive Daredevil. Like I said, I am digging the size comparison between them, and Rocket should be smaller. And for my final thoughts about the figure is that this figure is a must-have in your collection if you were building your Marvel Cinematic Universe going on, or if you want that one Rocket that stands above all others. Like I said, Hasbro snapped with this figure. They added a new articulation on him, especially we don't see that in small figures. And the paint deco and the sculpting of him is just nicely done. I really can't complain about him too much. Yes, there is things that I wish it did have, but those are minor little things. But I really recommend you getting this figure. I hope you liked this review. If you could please like, comment, and subscribe for more content coming your way. And as always, have a good one.